Okay, I'll start with reading the case study. William is a single father. He has 3 children. Their ages are 6, 8, and 10. William sees his children every other weekend. This upcoming weekend, aside from their normal routines, William has planned to take the children on a bike ride to Teton National Park. This is a yearly event they do together as a family. The day before he is to pick up his children, his ex-wife calls to ask if the children can stay with her for the weekend. There is an extended family dinner and cousin sleepover that the children have been invited to. The children see their maternal side of the family 2 to 3 times a month. If William says yes, he will miss the weekend of parenting time, which will mean it will be 3 weeks before he sees his children. If he says no, the children will miss the family get-together. Should he say yes or no? And the first question of discussion is, what are the risks to the family?
I think that one of the risks could be that if he says yes, the kids can go, then will the kids feel like, oh well, Dad doesn't want to see us anyway. And then I think another, so that's a risk to the children. I think another a risk if he said yes, if he says no, you can't take them, I want them, then there's a risk of tearing the 2 divorced parents apart even further, which could be more damaging to the children than whether or not they go to the bike ride or whether or not they go to the sleepover.
Yes. I feel like maybe they could be given an option, but that wasn't really an option for us to choose either. Right. I feel like it's important for the children to have a say in what they're going to do, or what their choice would be.
Isn't it part of the that if you let the children make decisions, then it brings the family together?
Jennifer, can you say that again?
That could also make
if the children have choices, isn't that if they help make the decisions, won't that not tear them apart as much? Because the children just decide where they go instead of having to choose between the two. Well, obviously, they have to make the choice, but is it the dad who has to make the choice?
If the kids chose, that could cause a division between the whole family if the kids chose different parents.
Yeah, it could.
Well, the next question probably goes along with this. It says, what are the definitions of leisure? Are they participating in aimless leisure or in recreation? And how do you know?
What do you think on that one, Jenny?
So something that I found while I was looking online, the definition of leisure was that it's a state of mind which ordinarily is characterized... Nope, that's the wrong thing. Leisure is a block of unoccupied time, spare time, or free time when we are free to rest or do what we choose. And
so
I feel like both of these activities are not going to be aimless leisure. They'll both be recreation, and they will both be valuable to building family structure.
Right.
And the podcast also said that recreation was a planned out activity, and both of them would be planned, so in that definition they'd fit.
I think that the difference, though, between these two is that one is going to be extremely active. Oh.
Wouldn't since the dad always, it's like a tradition that the family goes on a camp out, the kids go on a camp out with dad, wouldn't that be like override the, oh, this suddenly came up moment?
It sounds to me, Natasha, I think that your microphone is muted.
Not anymore.
Oh, okay. It sounds to me like the the bike ride is more of a balance activity, while the get-togethers possibly could be core. It says they happen 2 to 3 times a month, where they get together with the extended, or with the mother's side of the family.
The issue with this is that we don't get to decide any of the other circumstances. So should William say yes or no? Like, there's not really a right answer with this, because you have to change the other variables. Like the fact that if he says no, then he doesn't get to see his kids for 3 weeks. Well, that's ridiculous. Okay, if I didn't see my kid for 3 weeks, I'd go crazy. And so, like, it's important that we recognize, like, I believe that he should not allow them to go to the sleepover, and that he should get his time with them. If not this week, he should get the time next week. But that because that's not an option, that he has to say no. That the children will miss the family get together, and they'll do the family get together with their father and their siblings, and then they'll get to go and do the bike ride, because I think that's more important than the sleepover, because the sleepover seems like it might be more aimless. I don't know for sure that it would be aimless, but I feel like that would be the more aimless of the two, whereas the bike ride is something that it's a tradition, which we talked about a little bit in the readings, that it's important to have those things, and then especially with balance and core activities, this is a yearly planned core or balance activity for the family, and that they should participate in this. And it is more important than the here and now, like, I want to just hang out with my cousin. It is more important that relationship between the father and the children is more important than the cousins and the children.
I agree.
So do I.
Okay. Do we all agree on that? The next question is, what individual outcomes could come in following through with their plans? So we'll say that he says no, and the family goes with the father, the children go with the father on the bike ride. What outcomes would come from making that choice?
I feel like it would give the opportunity for... And Jennifer's gone. Do we want to wait a second for Jennifer to come back, or should we just keep going?
Let's keep going. She'll come back.
So I feel like if going with the father and following through with that plan, that it will allow
What are you doing, Creeper?
it'll allow for bonding between the father and the children, and it'll give them a memory that they might not have as many of. I look back to my life, and those are the things that made the memories, not the sleepovers with the cousins, because that was more aimless leisure than recreation.
I think also that it's a challenge. That sounds like quite a challenge to me, and it causes development in the children to be able to accomplish something like that, and together. I can't think of the word right now. But doing it together, they build cohesion and adaptability. That's the word I was thinking.
I believe that would be a very good cohesive activity. Megan, do you have anything to share on that?
Yeah, I agree with those points, and think it would help, like, the children bond more, just with their father, and, like, I agree that that relationship is more important, so it should take higher precedence, I guess, over the ones with the cousins. And sounds like they'll have more opportunities to do that with their cousins than they would with their father.
So the next question is just the same thing, but if they went with their mom. So what do you guys think would happen if they went with their mom?
Well, I feel like it'll be just a normal, fun sleepover where they, of course they'll have fun and they will build cohesion together, but they won't I don't think there will be any.
Hello?
Jennifer's back.
I think what you're saying is right. I think that if they just go and hang out at the sleepover, it's not a challenging activity. And if you look at that, in one of the podcasts, it had this idea of like challenging and I can't remember, but you had your flow, where your skill level and your challenge. And so I think that the idea of the recreation would be better at the other program or at the bike ride instead of the sleepover, because it'd be more challenging and they're using their skills more than at the sleepover. The sleepover is just going to be kind of sleeping and eating and playing, and so I believe that they would lose cohesiveness with their father, and they wouldn't be. I think that they would lose some of the things that maybe they've learned in the past through experiences about adaptability as well.
Another thing that I read in the principles section, it gives us points on what wholesome recreation is defined as, and one of the things it said is it's not idle and it's not spontaneous, which I feel like the sleepover is. And the bike ride helps to establish family rituals and bonding experiences, whereas sleepover might be considered a ritual, but it's more of a normal thing.
So do we all agree that our decision, and I guess we don't have to agree, but do we all agree that our decision would be that the kids go with their father in order to build cohesiveness with their father, be adaptable to follow the plan, which seems kind of contrary to what adaptable, but sometimes it is more, we need to be more adaptable to follow a plan, but then also to maintain that balance activity that they had planned and to participate in true recreation instead of the aimless leisure that we talked about.
I would agree with that as long as giving the children the choice wasn't an option for us. I think that letting the father take them out would be the best option.
Yeah. It's true. It just confirms that the dad still needs that time with his kid but his kids, and if he doesn't get it, then they're not balancing the core and the balance activities with him as well as their mother.
Megan, do you have anything to say? Turn your microphone on. And do you agree with our decision? Shake your head yes, really, really, like, dramatically. Okay.